let's see. I'm going to change my number 1 on MySpace to... Yeah. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you there on my screen. Well, good morning. Some interesting things are happening in the news, and let's take a look at them. My most interesting thing here is... I'll scroll back up to it. NASA is going to finally bring home those 2 astronauts that have been stranded up in the ISS for basically 8 months. Why it's taking so long? Honestly, I think it's politics. You see, when these 2 astronauts were launched, they were launched on basically a test flight for Boeing's Starliner. Supposed to be up there for about 8 days. Well, that didn't work out too well. And to quote the Daily Mail here, let's see. The Starliner was deemed unfit to carry them back home. Yeah. So that's what it looks like right here. Looks cool. I mean, I prefer the Dragon because of its track record, but, you know, hey, you take what you got. These poor people, I mean, they've been up there for a long time. Could you imagine saying to your family, hey, I'm going to go to work today and I'll be back next week. Don't worry. I'll see you soon. And instead, you're gone all summer, all fall. You miss Thanksgiving. You miss Christmas. You miss New Year's. You miss Valentine's Day. And sometime in March, you might be back home. Yeah, that goes over well. So why would now I'm speculating here about why the Starliner hasn't allowed SpaceX to just bring them back. I think that they probably could have. My thing is, Boeing kind of has to save face, and now they're really losing out because, well, Trump likes Elon Musk, and, well, he don't care whether Boeing loses an eye or two in this little battle among giants. Let's see. Okay, early April. I'm sorry, not March. So, yeah. Could you imagine having your competitor rescue the people you stranded because your product didn't get them there correctly? Or actually got them there correctly, but could not return them home correctly. Now, the Starliner did actually depart from the ISS, I think a month or 2 after docking and dropping off the astronauts, and successfully returned back to Earth. But they weren't super sure that it could do that. And let's see, Crew 9 spacecraft cannot bring Pinon home. So they want Trump, as the contact in Elon, says bring him back. Now, to be fair to the naysayers, this was going to happen anyway. I mean, according to the Daily Mail, this is 2 weeks earlier than they were originally going to do. And they're going to delay a private launch from SpaceX to get these guys home, which I think is the right thing to do. 2 weeks is 2 weeks. You know, you can't put a price on your time. Well, I mean, I guess technically you can because you do sell your time at work, but it is stuff you can't get back. No matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, you can't get time back. These people are never going to get those 8 months back. Now, I think these guys probably did okay. It's not an unusual thing to have astronauts in space for a year. Particularly on the ISS. It's, you know, that's kind of what it's there for. But these guys weren't planning on it. And it kind of sucks. And for SpaceX to have to rescue them and not Boeing's Starliner, that's just, you know, that's like that's like the final nail in the coffin for Boeing's space program. I don't think they could recover from this. No one's ever going to trust them anymore. Every astronaut that hops on that ship is going to be like, I hope I don't get stuck up here for a while. And that's a good hope. That's a good hope because, honestly, you could be going, well, I hope I don't blow up, which happened during the early Apollo missions. NASA used to be terrified of microbes from the moon. To be fair, never been there before, so we had no idea. So inside all the spacecrafts were pure oxygen. Yeah, that's not explosive. It was theorized that microbes would have a difficult time surviving a pure oxygen environment. So they thought, well, we'll pump the whole thing full of it and solve the problem. And I don't believe they ever actually changed that. Let me take a look here. Apollo program. Pure oxygen. Did they ever change it? Yeah, here we go. Here, let me see here. We'll look at this. 50th anniversary of NASA deciding on a mixed gas atmosphere for Apollo, a direct result of the Apollo fire. Yeah, at least they learned something from this. I believe it's 60% oxygen, 40% nitrogen. Okay, so it's a little, actually, it's kind of weird. See, our atmosphere is usually 80% oxygen and about 19% nitrogen. It's not exactly 100%. The last 1% is a bunch of mixed chemicals, including carbon dioxide. Yeah, the Apollo 1 fire. Had it not had that 100% oxygen in it, would it have had a fire? You like to play the what if game. I think that probably wouldn't have happened, and I think NASA thinks that probably wouldn't have happened, or they wouldn't have changed it. As much as we like to think, and I come from a background in this. Excuse me. Engineers have to find ways to keep their job. They have to find their ways to stay relevant. So they'll invent things that may or may not be needed. In the elevator industry, there's things out there that are just really bad ideas. I'm not going to go into too many details about which companies do it, but there's a thing called a how do I describe it to people who don't are in it? Basically, it's a hydraulic elevator with the pistons pointed down. It uses a whole contraption of pulleys and things to lift the elevator up. Why it exists, I can't really think of any good reason. A regular hydraulic elevator is fine. You put the piston in the ground, the elevator goes up. But a reverse piston that's above ground, that is pointed down, upside down, means that the seals are all at the bottom. So now you have gravity working against the seals, and to say you have one of these elevators that doesn't leak is a miracle. Yeah, if you have one of those pistons, you may want to have it checked. Just saying. So yeah, let me go back to this here. They call it a political win for the president. It is, bringing the astronauts home, but it is only 2 weeks early. It's not like he really had much of a choice. You have to wait for SpaceX to get the next ship ready. That is the good thing about having Boeing, Starliner, and eventually Amazon's Starship ready. You'll have several different options to choose from if you need a rescue mission or you need to launch immediately for some scientific reason. So relying on one single company is a bad idea. Always has been, always will. It's called monopoly. Monopolies creates high prices and a lack of competition, lack of innovation. So SpaceX having competition is good. These poor people. I mean, golly. You feel for them. You really do. Let's see. They're moving the Crew 10 mission off the ground sooner. That is why. So, and they are using the C-2110 vehicle, the Endurance spacecraft from SpaceX, and delaying Axiom 4. Okay, yeah. Another good win for Trump, even if technically it's only a 2-week win. But hey, 2 weeks is 2 weeks. I mean, how would you like to have 2 weeks off? 2 weeks back home? What do you think? Good idea? So they just waited? Do you think that rushing things could cause a problem? Let's hope not. I find most of my mistakes in life have been caused from a lack of patience, so there is that. But these people do know what they're doing. And let's hope they get him back home safely. Have a blessed day.